I hope you understand how I feel about this case, Jared. I've always had the greatest regard for you and your family, you know that. But I've got to prosecute to the limit. That's my job. And I can tell you, it's not going to be an easy one for you.
I know that, Dave.
This business about Campbell being unbalanced. I've spent a good amount of time with him the last few days. There's nothing wrong with that man. Him go to pieces in a fight? It's hard to believe.
Well, I intend to prove that that's exactly what happened.
Oh? Well, then you're ready for court on Friday.
As a matter of fact, I've got a favor I want to ask of you.
Just a minute. You're going to ask me to agree to a postponement. I'm afraid that's impossible.
No postponement. I want you to agree to a pretrial investigation at the site of the alleged crime, just to see if it was reasonable to rush that Gatling gun.
Not so many years ago, Seth Campbell and two soldiers charged up a hill into the face of a platoon manning a battery of cannon. Now, maybe that was unreasonable, but the President of the United States personally pinned a medal on Campbell's chest.
And I say it was a different Seth Campbell in a different situation.
Different? In whose judgment? Nick's, Heath's, you, and you. If you were in a jury, would you accept their word over that of a professional soldier, a professional lawman?
Dave, all I'm asking is that we go out there and see for ourselves.
There's nothing to see, nothing. Nick and Heath claimed that it was suicide to rush that Gatling, but Campbell rushed it, and he not only survived, he killed Floyd Strider. Now, even if he'd failed, they still had no right, legal or moral, to defy his authority, because they had sworn an oath to obey him.
And what if he wasn't fit to command?
They had no right to make that judgment.
Dave, these are my brothers I'm defending. And it was at this point that you gave the order to rush that Gatling while Nick and Heath covered.
That's right.
Was that when...
That's when Heath Barkley tried to prevent my orders from being carried out.
But those orders were carried out, weren't they? The man was killed.
I object. I mean, Jared, I think you're forgetting yourself. The marshal isn't on trial here. You'll have a chance to cross-examine in court.
No, Mr. Dagler, I think it's high time that this entire thing was straightened out once and for all.
All right.
Heath, what happened next?
That's when the marshal ordered another rush.
And you thought that was a mistake?
To rush that tower in broad daylight without cover? Yes, I thought it was a mistake.
And I did, too, along with Curry.
Wait a minute. He can't speak for Curry, Jared. And the rest of this is merely the opinion of your clients.
All right, let's get on with it.
By all means, Mr. Barkley. It was at that point that your brothers attacked me and took over the posse illegally.
You deny that, Heath Barkley?
No.
I really don't know what you're getting at. As far as I can see, this whole thing merely strengthens the position of the prosecution. Now, I don't mind, but you really feel you want to continue?
Yes, I do. Marshal, was your son with you when you came to?
Yes, he was.
What condition were you in?
Well, other than a slight headache, I was fine.
And that's when Seth Jr. left you.
Yes, it was. The fighting continued. Seth went for help.
What happened then?
Well, as I say, the fighting continued. And... Well, it was then that I made a resolve that I was going to get out of it. Matter of fact, I'd been physically forced to stay out of it. I decided to give the Barkleys their head. So I left. But I was still head of that posse, Mr. Barkley, and I wasn't going to let the Striders get away.
I don't see any reason to continue this. The main facts have been established.
Not quite. Seems to me we still have a question of the Gatling's field of fire. Now, I suggest that we set the conditions up as they actually were when the fighting broke out. Marshal, I've got a man up there in that tower. He's going to fire that gun on my signal. Can you remember where everyone was when you ordered them to rush that gun?
Yes, of course. Wilson and Curry, they were behind the wall there, positioned to rush. And, well, the rest of us were all right over here.
Are you sure we're safe from the bullets here?
Oh, yes, we're safe here.
Dave, are you going to tell me that a rational man would send anybody into this field of fire?
What's all this nonsense about a field of fire? When you're in a firefight, sir, you don't sit there like a rat in a trap. You attack.
That's when you mounted your horse and jumped the wall.
Yes, that's right. That's when I mounted my horse and jumped the wall, and if I hadn't, your two brothers would have been slaughtered. Slaughtered?
Heath and Nick was safe from the Gatling gun behind the wall.
Safe, were they?
Well, one of the Striders had flanked them, and if I hadn't spotted them, they both would have been killed. Nick and Heath were busy with two of the Striders. Floyd was up in the tower with the Gatling. Now, where did you spot another Strider?
Right after I'd mounted my horse. Spotted him in the alley down there. I wheeled, and I fired.
You wheeled and fired where?
There!
No, Mother. How'd it go?
He's gone. It's one of the saddest things I've ever done, putting him on that train.
How was he?
Oh, very confused. I don't think he'll ever get used to the idea that his son is gone.
Have a great career end like that.
Well, you all did the best you could. By the way, we've been invited to the Claytons for dinner tonight.
Oh?
Oh, say, Nick, that reminds me.
What?
Sarah Purdy's going to be there tonight.
Oh, well, now, that's mighty fine. Just too bad I'm too tired to do much of anything.
Oh?
Well,
Well, she probably wouldn't have any time for you anyway. You're just a little bit late.
why?
Well, since you missed that last social, she's just about had her pick of admirers.
You're not talking about the cousin of Jack Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Big green eyes, one of the prettiest girls I've ever seen.
You know, I haven't seen the Claytons for a long time. I think I'll go alone.
Do tell.
That's too bad about you being tired, Nick.
Yeah, we'll be sure and give him your regrets.
Pretty green eyes, huh?
Oh, beautiful.
Heath, where do you think you're going?
Well, I'm just going up to take a bath.
I'll flip it for the tub.
Well, how come?
Well, I haven't been to Clayton's in a long time. Call it.
Well, I thought you was tired.
Tired? I want to get out among them, too. Start dancing. Call it.
Well, heads.
Sorry, old man, you lost.
Worked like a charm.
That Nick, he'll never learn.